This way of teaching gives you that perspective where you have to self-reflect. You have to encourage yourself. And if you feed yourself with, man, it's going to stop me. Shit, I know it's going to stop me. I should have never moved. I shouldn't have moved my stop. Shouldn't have moved my stop. This is bullshit. They're going to stop me out. And what are you doing? You're not trading your setup. You're not even following order flow anymore. You're preparing yourself for something that may not even happen, which is being stopped out, which is 180 degrees against what I teach, which is while you're in a trade, whether you're tape reading, whether you're demo trading, whether you're using it with a live trade, your task is, where are we at right now on this candlestick? And how does it relate to what has already happened? Is it still following the logic that would present the likelihood of this trade going to where you said it was going to go? If it's going down, where's the short-term low that it gets to take stops out? And then as soon as it does it quickly run away, or does it spend time below that low if you're long? That's probably more of a reason to get out of the trade or cut some of the trade off. But if it goes down below a short-term low, that doesn't mean shit, except for it's probably a time where we can add to it. By me giving you the draw in advance, I'm lending you my experience. But there's a great deal of effort that's required beyond that in your own hands. And a lot of you don't want to go through that. You're doing everything to avoid that. And there's going to be a time while you're doing it initially, you're going to feel like you're floundering. It's going to feel like you don't know what you're doing. It feels like it's not going to work in your hands until it starts. What's the separator? What's the divider there? The aspect of showing up every day and desensitizing yourself, saying, okay, yeah, I felt like that yesterday, but I don't feel it that way today. And look, it worked in my hands. And you're going to go in the next day feeling like, see, I have a good perspective, I have a good outlook on this, and then it's not going to work well in your hands again. And you're going to lean on the previous day because you journaled it. You came into the day believing that this model is going to yield itself to you, you're going to follow the rules, and it gave it to you. And then the next day you went in and tried to do it again, it didn't yield it to you. So you encourage yourself with, it worked the day before, this is the day I did something wrong. I don't know exactly what it is. I'll wait till the day closes, and I'll have the benefit of hindsight to see what it is I missed. You see how liberating that is? But some of you simply want to avoid that aspect of growth, which is required. You can't escape that. There is nobody out there that's going to help you get around that. There is no one. I promise you. I swear to God Almighty, if there was somebody that could do that, I would say gladly, this person teaches you how to get around that and circumvent that whole aspect and requirement that I tell you is there. But they beat the system. They did it better. And even if they charge a lot of money, do it. Go through that because they've done it. There's nobody that's going to ever take that away. That's experience. There's no shortcut to that. You can't buy experience. You can't borrow it and refer to it as your own. You can borrow it and be comforted by having more experience lent to you by someone that's been doing it longer than you. But even then, in the reality is, you're just going along for the ride. And I don't do a lot of that stuff because I don't want you codependent. And codependency is worse than anything, because when you try to do it on your own, after spending time with someone that knows how to do it really well, you're forced to look at things from a different perspective when it's no different. It's just now you don't have that assurity that you placed this affinity, this trust factor in my experience doing it. I'm more right than I'm wrong. So therefore, if I say it and I'm going to go out in public and say it, that means that you have all the reasons not to trust it anymore. Or not trust it, let's say it that way. Because you believe in the historical record of me calling it beforehand, it pans out. Whereas it's no different that you arriving that same outcome if you would have back tested for a couple months and then tape readed for a couple months and then demonstrated for a couple months. And that's the 6 months minimum I was talking about. If you do that, that's the work. That's the reality, folks. It's not going to fall into your lap. Just because I'm the fucking golden goose that never runs out of fucking golden eggs doesn't mean it's going to rub off on you and everything you touch, you get the Midas touch. You got to work for it. You have to get that experience on your own. But here's the wonderful thing. Once you acquire it, it might take you 7 months. It may take you a full year. There's nothing wrong with that. Because once you get to that level and you have the experience and you know exactly how you're going to react, You know what your triggers are, what makes you nervous, what scares you, but then you start seeing all these instances where, yeah, I saw that before, and I used to fear these types of moves. You ever see that in some of my students' responses when they'll come behind somebody else and say, yeah, I did this, I got scared, and I got out of the trade. He goes, yep, I used to fear that same thing, but then I had to push past that and just go a little bit further and just hold the idea and just stick to the logic and the concepts. And then I got over that same fear. I don't look at that as someone browbeating someone saying you're stupid. That's someone saying, I used to do the same thing, and here's how I overcame that. You know what that is? That's a mini little version of market wizards.